AI chatbots and writing tools are everywhere now. The trick is to know when to use them and how to hide the fact that you did. In this video, we'll talk about why it's important to use AI to produce your writing copy, but why it's also important for your copy to be undetectable, both AI detectors and human beings. To make this work, we're going to go through 10 giveaways to avoid or correct in your AI-generated content and communications. And of course, this is AI Capitalist, so we're going to talk about the risks to your business and your profitability if you don't. I don't know about you, but nowadays I'm reading a lot of communication where a bell goes off pretty quickly that the material that I'm reading was actually written by AI. In a previous episode, we discussed how former Harvard president Claudine Gay was accused of plagiarizing large sections of her PhD thesis. After that episode aired, a more detailed and damning report was published by hedge fund manager Bill Ackman, who was a former Harvard alum himself. Then, in a counterattack, Bill Ackman's wife, Neri Oxman, was accused of having copied sections of her own doctoral thesis from Wikipedia. Looking at the subtext, this dual exposure was more political than anything. The counterattack against his wife is just par for the course in these sorts of academic specs. All right, so let's dive into this in a little bit more detail. Oh, that brings up the first of our giveaway is expressions that appear in your writing that ChatGPT vastly overuses. Number one, let's dive in, shall we? As in, let's dive into what these plagiarism accusations really mean, shall we? Plagiarism isn't the same as using AI, but it's pretty close. The real point is, here we have two people who were selected, not because there had been accusations of plagiarism made against them, but for outside political reasons. This means that their selection was essentially random from the perspective of plagiarism. Yet both of them seem to have committed plagiarism. 2 is a small sample size, too small to be statistically significant. But it does seem that if you pluck 2 people at random from the vastness of academia, and 100% of the people you check are plagiarizing, then the problem is pretty widespread. Which brings us to AI giveaway number 2. This is all about, as in, this is all about academic honesty. It's lousy writing because using this is all about assumes that your reader is too stupid to figure out what you're talking about. And it just screams AI. In the case of the academics, there's a demand to just publish lots and lots of papers, just write and write. The expression is publish or perish, and one has to wonder if the journals that publish these papers are actually reading them. These papers are just buried in academic journals, and they're used to pad the academic's resume. This sheds light on the struggles in the modern academic as he or she strives for the coveted tenured position that so few achieve. So I just gave away number 3. Here sheds light on. Get rid of it. A kind of silly system of writing seems to have developed where students and probably faculty who are publishing use AI whenever possible. Then they scrub the AI-ness of it by running it through AI detectors that rewrite the text so that they'll pass through AI detection. Then they submit it to their professor for peer review, who then runs the copy through their own AI detector. This actually mirrors what happens in the working world where copywriters are now using AI to generate content, scrubbing it, and then submitting it to publishers who run it through their own checking. So if you're out there getting a liberal arts degree and someone asks you what good is it, you can tell them, hey, it prepared me for the real world of evading AI detection. In the business world, you face the same problem. We'll have clients, be that other businesses, individuals, or governments, or even a boss, or a board of directors, or whatever. The client relationship with your brand is like a family relationship. You have to make the calls and keep up contact, fostering a sense of familiarity. Oh, that was number 4, fostering. The word fostering is extremely overused by AI chatbots like ChatGPT, and it means almost nothing. Make sure to replace this. You're gonna have to keep your relationship with the client strong so that when your time comes, you have a warm lead to pitch your value add to them. And if you feel that you're gaining value from this episode, I would urge you to hit the like button. By pressing like, you're letting me know that I'm giving you the value you need in exchange for your time. And you're helping to support the channel by spreading that value to others. I thank you sincerely for your support. To narrow your communications to a particular market segment, the more personal and engaging you can make it, but the greater volume of material that you have to generate. The more material you have to generate, the more you need AI to start cranking out copy. It's like running on a hamster wheel. That was giveaway number 5, by the way. It's light. Somewhere in the programming of ChatGPT, it is able to understand what a metaphor is, and its internal algorithms can assemble metaphors to make it seem more human-ish. But when you're writing, when you announce a metaphor, you're really talking down to your client, and that's not what you want. Think about these 2 sentences. Number 1, listening to AI capitalists to increase your profit is like having a turbocharged engine under your hood. So we define the metaphor. Number 2, AI capitalist is an engine of profit and efficiency for savvy business leaders. The second sentence says more in less words. I'm just explaining it to you because, I assume you're too dumb to figure out that this is a metaphor and I'm not literally a car engine. This brings us to giveaway number 6. Think of blank as blank. Think of AI as your personal copywriter. Same problem as number 5. You're talking down to your reader and defining your metaphor too much, and it just screams AI. And by the way, the metaphors that AI actually spits out are like the cheesy ones that your kid writes out in 3rd grade writing assignments, like write 3 metaphors in the blanks by the end of the class. Avoid or change AI metaphors to avoid this problem, and don't talk down to your audience. Over time, as the internet rapidly fills up with AI-generated crap content, our ears are becoming attuned to these words. This has been transformative for the reading experience. Oh, there's number 7, transformative. Not everything you write is earth-shaking. Not everything you write will transform your reader's life. As President Teddy Roosevelt once said, speak softly and carry a big stick. Overhype and underdelivery leads to a lack of trust between you and your reader, your client, your boss. Let's knock out numbers 8 and 9. Just buckle up, and so let's fasten our seatbelts. Nobody talks like this, but ChatGPT seems to have fixated on it, and it comes up over and over. Back to our topic. As more and more writers use AI, our ears are starting to become attuned to these words. And I find that the first draft written by AI chatbots is typically very wordy and repetitive. What we're looking for is concise and direct. As a reader, with my ears starting to tune in to AI-written content with these buzzwords I'm giving you, once I see AI content, it's pretty insulting to me as a reader to know that someone spent about 20 seconds writing a prompt, and then they copy-pasted whatever AI spit out, and then they expect me to spend 5 or 10 minutes of my valuable time sifting through the 50s dad jokes, the nonsensical repetition, and a general lack of clarity. My ear just picks up on these words, and my mind automatically shuts down. Think of the faster, better, cheaper Venn diagram. You can have 2, but you can't have 3, right? AI is in the faster, cheaper extreme. Copy written by an individual user is much higher quality, but you just can't write enough to keep up with demand. To maximize the number of customers that you're reaching, and therefore your overall profitability, and still nurture that individual connection at a reasonable price, you need to combine the 2 and arrive somewhere near the middle. Stay tuned to AI Capitalist, because we're going to have more writing tips and how you can employ these chatbots to increase your profitability.